Hello, ladies and gentlemen, members of my YouTube channel family. The conflict in the Middle East region has now intensified and continues. As many fast-breaking reports on the matter are uploaded to YouTube at all hours, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get notifications first. I will now move on to the news. The conflict in the Middle East continues to intensify. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, in a statement given just minutes ago, said that Iran's military leaders are about to flee the country. They are fleeing because they know about the coming fire, he said. In his warning, Netanyahu added that a very devastating attack is about to begin. Meanwhile, the Israeli Defense Forces, IDF, also stated that, a difficult time, a heavy attack is coming. In a message circulated in the Persian language for all Iranians, it said, "We advise all Iranians to stay away from war zones and to quickly distance themselves from military installations around Tehran. A heavy attack is coming now." On the other hand, Iran has said it will not sit idly by, stating that just as yesterday's attack was severe, today's will be twice as devastating. The destruction Iran caused in Israel overnight is still being shown in the media this morning. Significant damage has been observed in Israel. I will now play the report released by the Iranian government on the matter. Additionally, U.S. President Donald Trump has also made a statement about this conflict. What did he say hours ago? You will hear it. On the other hand, members of the U.S. Congress have also issued a warning to Trump, stating that America should not enter this conflict and that not a single American soldier should fall for Israel's sake. They have reportedly submitted a letter to this effect. Lawmakers are also sharing their opinions on social media. The conflict in the region has intensified, with one side harming the other. The media of both countries are circulating statements supporting their own sides. Now, I will present the latest information in detail. Let's follow it together. Breaking news. The war between Israel and Iran continues to intensify, with both sides escalating their air attacks at all hours. As this report was being compiled, various cities in Iran were still being hit by Israeli airstrikes. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, in a statement this morning, said word for word that he has received intelligence that several Iranian military leaders are preparing to flee the country. Their decision to flee is astonishing. They are fleeing because they know what is coming. The fire will not stop, Netanyahu said in his statement this morning. Benjamin Netanyahu hinted at Israel's next attack, indicating that a major strike could occur within hours. Meanwhile, the Israeli Defense Forces, IDF, issued a stern warning to Iranians. In its warning, the Israeli military said, "The worst is yet to come, so all you Iranians, stay away from military zones," it stated. In a message released in the Persian language, the IDF's defense ministry said the crisis in the Middle East is likely to worsen, a message that suggests a more severe situation than yesterday. Iran, for its part, has declared it will not sit idly by, and its response will be immediate, within seconds. It stated that yesterday's attack was severe, but today's response will be doubly so. Overnight, the damage Iran inflicted on Israel is now being widely reported by the media. Significant damage has been confirmed in Israel. According to the Israeli Emergency Services, at least 10 people have been pulled from the rubble and confirmed dead, while hundreds more have been injured. A few days ago, the Iranian ambassador to the United Nations had stated that 78 people were killed in an Israeli attack. Then, last night, Iran's national television reported that an Israeli attack on a residential apartment in Tehran killed 60 civilians, including 20 children. Iran's oil minister confirmed that the Saharan oil storage facility in the capital was hit and destroyed by an Israeli attack. Despite the fire that broke out at the Iranian oil refinery due to the attack, he stated it is now back in operation. Amidst this, U.S. President Donald Trump said it is possible for Iran and Israel to reach an agreement easily and for the war to end today. President Donald Trump officially stated that the United States was not involved in the attack on Iran last night. On his Truth social media platform, Trump posted, "The United States had no involvement in the attack on Iran last night, and it will not have any." Iran had previously warned the US and its allies not to help Israel thwart its retaliatory strikes. Trump added, "If we are attacked by Iran in any way, shape, or form, or if any US interests are threatened, the United States will respond strongly, without a doubt." However, he added, "If we are not attacked, we will not directly participate in this conflict." US President Donald Trump. He concluded by saying, however, "We can make Iran and Israel reach an agreement easily and stop this bloody conflict." Meanwhile, following Israel's targeted attack last night on Iran's nuclear facilities, scientists, and key military leaders, Iran's entry into a full-blown war under the pretext of self-defense has raised various concerns among U.S. lawmakers. U.S. lawmakers from different political camps have jointly urged the Trump administration to refrain from taking any action in this war and have strongly advised against America getting further involved than it already is. Kentucky's Republican representative, Thomas Massie, posted on his social media, "If Israel has enough capacity to start the war it started, then it should fight on its own. It is unnecessary for American taxpayers' money to be given to Israel to defend it. I will not vote to support this war of aggression," he said, voicing his opposition. Similarly, Texas Democrat Representative Greg Casar said, on his part, Netanyahu's reckless attack risks dragging America into a wider conflict. He added, Trump should oppose Netanyahu's invasion and strive to resolve Iran's nuclear program through diplomatic means. Before sending American troops into Netanyahu's war, Trump should not violate the Constitution without the consent of Congress, he wrote. Connecticut's Democratic Senator, Chris Murphy, stated that, this is a disaster created by Trump and Netanyahu, and it risks plunging the region into a new and deadly conflict. A war between Israel and Iran might serve Netanyahu's domestic political interests, but it is disastrous for the security of Israel, America, and the rest of the region, he said. He added, as stated by Foreign Minister Marco Rubio, America was not involved in today's attack. We have no obligation to involve Israel in a war we were not asked to join and that endangers our security. Lawmakers have expressed particular concern that if Iran retaliates, the U.S. might move to defend Israel and destroy Iran's nuclear capabilities. Trump told Fox News last night that if Iran takes retaliatory action against the U.S., America is ready to defend itself and Israel. Michigan's Democratic Representative, Rashida Tlaib, on her part, said, the president cannot send American troops into a war with Iran on his own authority, bypassing Congress's war powers. This violates Article 1 of the Constitution, which requires congressional approval to declare war. The American people do not want another endless war in the Middle East. There is no reason for American soldiers, America's children, to go there and pay the price. Nothing that could take lives and affect American families should happen, she said. Not a single American soldier should die for Israel's cause, said Kentucky Republican Senator Rand Paul. The American people oppose endless wars. They showed this when they voted for Donald Trump in 2024. The peace-loving American people who elected him hoped he would fulfill his promise to end the entanglements with Israel and Palestine, he said. According to the lawmakers, the attack was launched at a time when the U.S. was attempting to negotiate with Iran over the nuclear deal through diplomatic channels, which has now jeopardized the future of that effort. Currently, the media outlets of both governments are working to either praise or denigrate each other. While Israeli media reports that Iran is collapsing, we have crushed them, Iranian media, on the other hand, is reporting, we have inflicted heavy damage on Israel. Israel is crumbling. Israel and Iran, who have long been sworn enemies, watching each other with suspicion and fighting directly and indirectly, have entered into a full-blown war since the night of Thursday, April 5, 2017, when Israel launched its attack, plunging the world into anxiety, says the BBC. Israel and Iran have been rival nations for decades. The deep-seated enmity between the two countries has been a primary reason for the lack of peace in the Middle East. The BBC report recalls that the relationship was different until the late 1970s. After Israel was founded in 1948, Iran was the second Muslim country after Egypt to recognize the Jewish state. At that time, Iran was led by the government of the Shah Pahlavi, a strong U.S. ally in the Middle East who was praised by America. Following the Iranian Revolution in 1979, the relationship between the two countries began to change. When Ayatollah Khomeini's regime took power, it declared the previous pro-US government a mere puppet of American interests, with no independent stance and no sympathy for its Palestinian brethren. It then denounced Israel as the Little Satan and the US as the Great Satan. Israel, similarly a nation that wishes Iran would disappear, has been working for decades to destroy it, from assassinating its various nuclear scientists to instigating internal conflicts. However, neither side's plan has been realized, and we have reached this point. The source of the enmity between Iran and Tel Aviv, the BBC asks, was the shift after the 1979 revolution. Ayatollah Khomeini's revolutionary government overthrew the Shah's regime and established its own. The main characteristic of his government became opposition to American and its allies' imperialism. The Ayatollah's administration cut ties with Israel. It revoked recognition of Israeli passports and handed over the Israeli embassy in Tehran to the Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO, which was fighting the Israeli government. The enmity that began then has led them to become nations that seek to destroy each other. They have continued to do so to this day, and their exchange of fire, with sides clearly drawn, has not stopped. While Israel is supported by the US, the UK, and other allies, Iran, often alone but sometimes with the backing of allies like Russia, has escalated the situation. The two countries, now in a full-blown war, have reached a precipice that could push the world into a third world war, especially with Israel's strikes on Iran's nuclear sites, which could lead to radioactive fallout and further disaster. Dear listeners, I will bring you more updates on this issue in a few hours. Until then, wherever you are in the world, stay safe.